Recording in progress. Recording in progress. Recording in progress.
नविता माता जी
नविता माता जी
जय माता जय माता जय माता
जय माता।
बिल्कुल जी हरी माता जी, my audio is clear ना?
हाँ अभी इट इज ओके, पहले इट वाज ब्रेकिंग, आपकी आवाज गूंज रही थी।
ओके ओके ओके।
जी,
हरे कृष्ण माता जी।
हरे कृष्ण।
शिप्रा माता जी भी आई हैं, या फिर शायद ये मोहित प्रभु जी हैं। बिल प्रभु जी, एम आई ऑडिबल?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Yes, you are. Audible.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी।
हरे कृष्ण मोहित प्रभु।
हाँ जी,
Shall we start?
अगर if everybody is there we can start.
Okay, okay, okay. Yeah, we have Navita Mataji here and Bill Prabhuji too. So,
Okay, okay.
okay, so let me share our slides. Hmm,
The recording is in progress now.
Ji Prabhuji, it
Okay,
is in progress.
great.
Actually, I was doing it from my laptop, but it got hanged. So now
Okay.
I'm doing from phone.
Okay,
Okay. So I have prepared my own slides. All right. I hope my slide is visible, Prabhuji.
yeah, it is visible.
Okay. Navita Mataji, it's okay. Bill Prabhuji.
Yes,
Yes, Prabhuji.
yes.
It's visible. Yeah.
Okay. So we should start our presentation by taking the blessings from the Saraswati Ma, as she is the goddess of knowledge. Then we take the blessing of Lord Ganesha, who provide us the intelligence. And even Ganesh ji has written our scriptures narrated by Vyas Dev ji. So even he is a very good astrologer. Then we take the blessing from the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, and Srimati Radharani, who is the Queen of Vrindavan, and she is very dear to Lord Krishna. So this is my chart. This is my flyer. Actually, I've written there Kartikeya Mishra, and there is written, MBA. So people usually ask me, you have done MBA in astrology? So the answer is no. I have done MBA in HR and marketing, but I was more interested in my astrology, right? Before my exams, I used to study astrology.
I think you have gone on mute.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes, Kartikeya Prabhu. I think you had gone on mute in between.
Okay, 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 okay. So you heard now, Proji, what I told you about my MBA?
So I heard that you did in HR and
Okay.
marketing.
Ji, Proji. I did MBA in HR and marketing, not in astrology, but I used to be more interested in my astrology books than my own MBA books. And because of that, I'm sitting in front of you, right? Prior, before my exams, also, I used to study astrology rather studying my own books, right? Okay. So this course is going to be both beginner as well as some sort of advanced. So let
Okay.
me tell you, what is the difference between beginner and advanced? See, we have 12 houses in astrology, 12 zodiacs, right? That starts from Aries to Pisces. Then we have 12 houses in astrology, right? So if Jupiter is sitting in fourth house, for example, right? I know, some of you might not be, you know, um, knowing what is Jupiter in fourth house, but gradually we'll learn. For example, Jupiter is sitting in fourth house, so we will predict कि native must have a, a temple near around his house, or he must be living in a temple, or he must be living near around any spiritual place, because fourth house is your house, and Jupiter is your spirituality, temple, etc. So this is beginner astrology. You can do, right? You can even use this principle in different charts. But what is advanced? Advanced is predicting that the temple is of Lord Shiva, the temple is of Lord Vishnu, and also predicting the temple is small or the temple is very large, right? So this comes in advanced astrology. Advanced astrology is all about your diseases, right? And relation of wife and your mother, relation of your children with you, etc., etc. We'll discuss in the further classes, right? So this is our solar system. This is sun, you can see, right? Like we read in our previous classes: Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. Okay, so in Western astrology, they people consider Uranus as well as Neptune as well as Pluto in their astrology, but we don't, right? Because the reason is our sages have provided, our sages has provided that much knowledge which is sufficient to predict the nature or the livings of a certain individual, right? Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto has role in astrology, but need not to cover their knowledge, right? We have Jupiter, Saturn, Earth, Mars, Venus, Mercury, and Sun, as well as Rahu and Ketu, right? So these 9 planets are sufficient to predict the birth, the profession, the longevity, the likings, dislikings, house, property, rent, etc., etc., right? So this is the difference, right? So this course is going to be just for 2 days in a week. Earlier, I thought to make it 5 days, but I'm not like people usually they're free to take this class on their weekends only, right? So this is going to be for an hour, or sometimes it could go for like 1 hour, 15 minutes, or more than that. So the course is for 6 months, which is 24 weeks. I have already shared the PDF with you, right? And it could go even longer or even shorter, right? This is tentative. Then the fees for all the participants, which is 1,000 rupees per month, right? So this is going to be both beginner as well as some sort of advanced, right? Advanced knowledge I'll be sharing with you, right? What is my own research? Hello? Hello?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, so this is going to be both beginner as well as some sort of advanced, right? So advanced knowledge I'm going to share with you guys, right? What I have seen in charts. I've seen so many charts with a particular disease, right? For example, I've seen piles, right, in so many charts, and even I have predicted where the my client has accepted, yes, they have that sort of disease. I have I have predicted like respiratory kind of disease, or etc., etc. So okay, and even I okay, I'm not going to boast about myself now. Will be sharing those knowledge in further classes. Okay. So this course is going to get you the understanding of planets and their significance, right? Their impact on individual. Project, could you see my face? Like, hello?
Right now we are seeing only the slide, and that is
Acha.
okay.
Okay. So what this course is going to get you, this is going to get you the understanding of planets, right? The the understanding of planets and their significance in individuals' life, right? How material nature is, influencing all of us. Some people are Rajoguni, some people are Tamoguni, and some are Satoguni, right? And I'm literally not condemning any one of them. Even Lord Shiva, he is in the mode of ignorance, and Brahmaji, he is in the mode of passion, and Lord Vishnu, he is in the mode of Satogun, right? So, we have to become Satogun as well as Tamogun as well as Rajogun during our lives. For example, while I am sleeping, I'm in the mode of ignorance. I'm ignoring people. While I'm, meditating, I'm ignoring all the concerns. So that is Tamoguna, right? So we are going to understand that thing as well, right? Some people who keep their vehicle whenever they go out of their house, they keep their vehicle very, like a very new car, like they have just got it from the showroom, right? But some people who took their car without washing, and keeping it very dirty. So even the material nature is influencing their vehicle as well, right? Material nature is influencing their house as well. For example, some people do have cracks in their house, right? So why does it is happening? Why it is happening? It is happening because of Rahu or because of Shani, right? So, as soon as the person comes to you for the horoscope prediction, you have to judge that person from foot to head to foot, right? You have to, you can even see his vehicle. Okay, this guy is keeping his vehicle very dirty, or the vehicle is very old. That means Saturn must have influence on his vehicle, because Saturn represents something old, right? So we have to judge the person's height, individual height, right? For example, if the person is tall, that means he is having the influence of Jupiter. He is having the influence of Mars. If the person is short height, that means he is having the influence of Sun. So you can judge the individual by anything, even by the way he walks, by the walks, right? If the person is moving faster, that means they have a strong Mars, they have a strong Sun. But if they're moving very lazily, slowly, that means they have the influence of Saturn, right? So you have to keep all those things in your mind, right? Okay, so this is also going to make yourself understand of, like, what things I've got from the material nature, what is my positives, what are my negatives, right? The area, the domain where I have to work upon myself, right? The things which I have to take care, right? For example, no, the example is not suitable for the time, right? Okay, you can also link your knowledge of astrology with the scriptures. For example, Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, he says that a person has to come out of all those three gunas, right? Sattogun, Rajogun, and Tamogun. So what is that planet which makes the person to come out of all those things, right? And Lord Krishna also claims that one who surrenders unto me, he is going to he's going to get through all the miseries, all the obstacles, right? Although he's going to get the obstacles, but he's not going, those obstacles are not going to influence the individual's mind or soul. So what are those planets, which makes the person, to come out, to become a paramhans, right? To become a spiritual, to become neutral to everything, right? And okay, okay. Okay, now we come to astrology has a great contribution to our Vastu and Ayurveda, right? A few days back, I read a book where an astrologer who used to give medicine to his clients by looking at the horoscope, right? okay, this candidate is having this influence of planets, so I must give this medicine, right? So Ayurveda has a great influence or great connection with astrology, right? And even one could even know, the type of medicine that suits the person, homeopathic, right, etc., etc. Okay. And astrology has a great contribution towards vastu, right? Sometimes people who come to me, right, and if I see any planet which is sitting in fourth and negatively influencing that person, so I give remedy according to that planet. For example, if moon sits in fourth house, I prefer that the person should have a tap of water, you know, at the main gate of their house. If the person who is having Saturn or Rahu in fourth house, then the person must have a storeroom, in the very front of their house, because that storeroom is going to attract all those negativity which the native is suffering, right? So vastu and Ayurveda, they both these things have great connection with astrology, right? Okay, moving ahead. So astrology is like a weather report. It tells you what conditions you are likely to face in the future. If the weatherman says it's probably going to rain, you bring an umbrella and you follow that advice, you won't get wet, right? So the thing is very simple. If astrologer is advising you, see, not every time we can advise a person to bring an umbrella to whenever they move out of house, right? Because if it is going to be a storm, if it is going to be very heavy rain, it is going to be uh, rain like cats and dog, then there is no option, there is no worth of taking umbrella out. You have to suffer, right? It is going to be a metro shower, so you will be suffering that thing, right? So we have to see the things, whether the things can change or not. If they can change, then what advice should I prefer to the person, right? Should I give to the person, right? Not every time anything could be changed through astrology. For example, if someone is going to get ill, disease or ill, so you can advise the person, right? um, um, for example, that uh, just take care of health, right? But if the chart is indicating that the person is going to surely going to have ill without any reason and there's no pathway, then you can do nothing, right? So we have to see the things, because otherwise the person who showed you his horoscope, he's going to blame you, like that person told me, like if I took this advices or things, I'll come out of that negativity, right? But I didn't, right? So we have to take care of everything. And to the medical man, astrology invaluable in diagnosing disease and prescribing a remedy for it. Reveals the hidden cause of all ailments, right? Yes, astrology is able to guide you in terms of your health as well. For example, I met a person few days back, right? And he might join our class as well. So I told him, Proji, you must have something, uh, you know, some problem in your ear, because Jupiter was sitting in 11th house, right? So he told me, yes, I do have, right? So medically, I have seen this thing. Astrology is 100% accurate, right? Okay, so moving ahead. So I have got some information about our scriptures, right? So I'm going to give you here. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to give you here, right? It is just for the sake of making this science disciplined, right? I cannot jump to houses and the zodiacs directly, right? From where the astrology has driven, right? I must inform you, right? So, and please, it is my humble request to to all the participants that please prepare notes, because I cannot show you my notes because but my Almira, I'm having so much, I have written so much, I've prepared so much notes, right? And without notes, things doesn't work, right? So please prepare your own notes, right? And also it is going to give you confidence. Yes, I've learned something. And while you see horoscope, you'll get that confidence. Okay, so we have 4 Vedas: Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Sam Veda, and Atharva Veda. So from where the astrology has got driven, right? So Atharva Veda is the type of Veda which describes the astrology, right? Atharva Veda is the main Veda which describes the astrology. Rig Veda as well as Yajur Veda have few sections that are attached in them which deals with the astronomy. But the main is Atharva Veda. So anyone who asks you, because people generally do this, right? Okay, you do astrology, so just tell me from which Veda astrology has driven, right? So we have to answer, right? Okay. Astrology is known as the eye of the Vedas because you are literally going to see all those things here, which is written in the scriptures. For example, I read somewhere that your father, your guru, and the king, they are considered as God, right? And in astrology, father and guru, they are provided a single house. They are not separate. They are not provided the different house. They are provided this single house, and which has a great link to fate of a person. So father, guru, and fate, these 3 things are judged from the ninth house of a person, right? And these 3 things really do have a great connection with each other, right? Okay. Okay. So then we have 6 auxiliary discipline to support Vedas, which is Vedanga, Chandas, Kalpa, Jyotisha, Nirukta, and Siksha and Vyakarna, right? So Vedanga, which is known as equivalent to human limb, Chandas legs, Kalpa hands, Jyotisha eyes, Nirukta ears, Siksha nose, Vyakarna face. Okay, let's move ahead. Okay, so I have written, I have provided some information. Uh, just hold for a second. Okay, uh, I have provided some information related to these 6 auxiliary discipline in the further slides. I'm not going to read here because I don't want to make class boring, but it is your duty to prepare your own notes. I'm going to share the slides in the group as well, right? Okay, let's move ahead. Chandas, Jyotisha, Siksha, Nirukta, Vyakarna, and Kalpa. Okay, so now we have different occult sciences, right? So astrology is a hidden knowledge, right? And we do have so many different occult sciences as well. For example, face reading, right? Let me tell you one thing. All your planets, all your 9 planets, they are sitting on your face actually, right? For example, if you want to judge a person, if you want to judge a Jupiter of a individual person, Jupiter represents good health, good finance, good moral values, education, respect, etc, etc things we are going to discuss in the further classes. But it represents so many things, right? So you can judge that thing from the nose or the forehead of a person, right? If you wants to judge the sun of a person, sun represents the passion, no, not the passion, but the ego and the fame and the energy, the soul, father, and bone, etc. You can judge the sun of a person by their forehead, right? If you want to judge the Venus of a person. You can judge it by looking at the cheeks of a person, right? Your cheeks represent your Venus, and Venus is love, affection, romance, etc. Right? It is music and so many things, right? And you can even judge the shape the person has, the shape of the face. For example, if the face is round in shape, that means the person is having the influence of moon, right? Moon represents your emotions, your mother. So people who have round face, they must have emotional, they must have a connect to their mother, right? They prefer their mother more, they love their mother more as compared to their father, right? And also they are emotional. Once they go through some problem, they are going to lay upon it for a week or more than it, right? So your face is defining so many things about you. Your ears are actually your Mercury. Yeah. Okay. Your ears are your Mercury. Okay. So now moving ahead. uh, Palmistry, right? Palmistry is 100% accurate science, right? I am not going to condemnicize anything because I'm a Vedic astrologer. So I'm not going to say, oh, palmistry doesn't work or it is not like that. Palmistry works 100%, even I have even I have matched my horoscope with my own palm lines, and I got it 100% accurate, right? So palmistry, but I'm not yet qualified, or don't have that deep knowledge as I'm having in Vedic astrology, in palmistry, right? But maybe if Radharani decides, then I'll be working on palmistry as well in near future. Okay. Then there's gemology. What gems suits to you, right? Then we comes to dream analysis. Okay, dream analysis, it's a new thing, and it is very interesting thing. And being an astrologer, people are going to ask you, for example, okay, you are an astrologer, just tell me, yesterday I had this kind of dream, and what does it indicate? For example, if I ask you, uh, just tell me, if you see yourself, falling from a high altitude in dreams, then what does it mean? Any one of you, please, would you like to answer? Mohit Prabhu, Bill Prabhu ji, Mata ji.
It's actually a fear of descending from any position or something, I mean, that kind of fear is basically haunting you.
Okay,
Maybe.
okay, okay. Yes, Prabhuji, you are right, and I must ask the other participants as well. Bill Prabhuji, would you like to answer this question?
Prabhuji, I actually don't know too much about it. I was just guessing that dreaming analysis. For example, I know some people in my family or that they not feeling comfortable, and when they are, it's like claustrophobic feelings, So I don't know. Yeah. So it might be something connected that some dreams, someone in my family or my sister, she dreams about something that makes her feel this claustrophobic. She doesn't like it. It disturbs her. Yeah.
Okay. Mataji, would you like to answer this question?
I'm not aware of it actually. Like I haven't thought of it.
Yes. This is these kind of knowledge you are going to get in this class, right? Because people are really not aware of so many things, right? That our scripture has given to us, right?
But
Ji?
Guruji, I just want to ask you one question. Like most of the people ask, and even I have that question. Like, no doubt we are like starting with our astrology class today. So,
Hmm.
like people born at the same time, but still they have different like fates. So, why is that? Like, like this Mukesh Ambani, the day he is born, or at the time he must be born. So many people must have taken like they were born on that time, the same time, but still, they have different faiths. So how do you explain that? That is the basic question one has when one starts with astrology. So
Mataji, your question is literally very great. Even when I started my astrology journey, I had the same question, right?
yeah,
But gradually, with the time, I got my answer. So, Mataji, I would request you to please wait for the answer.
yeah,
You can just write this question on somewhere, and we'll discuss the same question after 2 or 3 months, right?
fine.
When yes.
It is always in my head, like it is because this is the first question when it comes to astrology. So
Yes, yes, and it's a very good question, right? So we'll have some discussion upon it, right? Right. So okay. So now coming to the question back, right? If you see yourself falling from a high altitude in dreams, then what does it mean? Right, like the Mohit Prabhu, he said, you are escaping, or you are going down from a position, right? Yes, it could mean that as well. But what I think is, according to me, because astrologers generally do have different beliefs, different psychology, different answers to different situations, right? So what I think is, you are losing yourself in some sort of you are losing yourself in from from any responsibility of your life. For example, you are escaping from your responsibilities toward your children, toward your wife, toward your father, or towards your parents, or you are not confident about yourself, right? It could mean that as well, right? You are losing yourself, you are not confident, right? So similarly, if you see yourself, no, if you see any guest who are coming to your home in dream, then what does it mean? It means that you are going to get a good news, right? You are going to have a good news. Similarly, if you see a rising sun in your dreams, then it means that you are going to have a promotion in your job, right? Or maybe hike in your salary, right? Maybe you may get the recognition, where in the organization where you are working. So rising sun, seeing a rising sun in your dreams is considered to be very auspicious, but not the setting sun, right? And if you see flowing water, right, in dreams, then it is also considered as good. And if that flowing water belongs to any river like Ganga and Yamuna, then it is considered as very auspicious. And if you see both the river flowing as well as the sun rising, it is considered to be as a very excellent. Nothing could be more better than that, right? So dream analysis has so much to do with your daily lives, right? Actually, we are very ignorant to so many things, right? But everything is indicating you something about what is going to happen, right?
can you ask one question, like
Ji,
uh,
ji Mata.
like if you see some of your like forefathers, grandparents who are no more in your dreams, or if you see your old house where you have spent your childhood, so what
Okay.
does it?
Okay. Okay. If you see, your ancestors in your dream, that means, mm, if it is Pitra Paksha, right, which is just going to come, then it is going to be very auspicious, right? Because your ancestors have appeared in your dream, and it could be a blessing, right? But if it happens other than that, other than Pitra Paksha or any other day, right? Then it is not going to be considered as good. So I must advise you to 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 what can I advise here? I can advise you to give a roti or a chapati to cow, right, in the morning, right? Because your cow sometimes is considered as not sometimes, but cow is considered very auspicious, and feeding cow a roti or something, and that means you are making your pitras happy, right?
Okay.
So yes, so so similarly you could relate those things, right, with the with your own self, right? Like for example, if I see my ancestors in dream, and if they are not happy, or they came with something, some gifts to me, then it is considered as good. But if they're not happy and they're going empty hand, so it could mean not that good, right? So we'll discuss upon all
Yeah,
those
yeah,
things in the
yeah.
further classes, right?
I thought maybe like always we have dream of the childhood houses where we spend your entire childhood. So though you're attached to all those things, so that is why they keep on coming to you.
Ji. And Mataji, it could also mean that you are that person who might who usually thinks of past, right? Like I used to be like this, I used to be
Yeah,
like this in the past, right? So even we can see this thing as well from the horoscope of a person, right? But Mataji, I would advise you to go through the instruction of Lord Krishna or the Bhagavad Gita, start to live in present. Because if you live in past, then also we are not utilizing our precious time. If we live in future, then also we are not utilizing our precious time. We must stay in present. So okay, now moving ahead, uh, uh, coming to personality reading, right? You could also judge the person by their voice, right? If if you see someone, any male person who is having a thunder kind of voice, right? And chest is wide, or and the height is good, that means they are having the impact of Mars. And this kind of a person could act, could be a very good um, you know they could have a profession like army, or they could have a profession like soldier, commander, or somewhere where they have to where they have to fight, right? They have to protect, right? So we have to judge even the voice, even the walking of a person, even their gesture and posture, right? We could also judge the planets of that person by their gesture and posture. For example, if a person there are so many people, not so many, there are people who are good with their gesture and postures, like what they are speaking, their speaking is actually having a very good harmony with their gesture and postures, right? But some people do not have that thing, right? They're speaking something, the gestures is going somewhere and the posture is going somewhere, right? So we can judge that thing as well in horoscope. And that speech which comes from Mercury, right, Buddha, and and your personality, attractive personality, that comes from Venus, right? So we can see that thing in the horoscope as well, right? Okay, so we have Vedic astrology and its branches. We have four things actually, right? Which is Hora. The very first is Hora. Hora is individual chart. For example, I'm having my own chart. Mataji is having her own chart. Prabhuji, both the Prabhujis are having their own chart, which is Hora, right? I'm having a different position of Jupiter in my horoscope. You must be having a different position of, different position of Jupiter in your horoscope. And we do have a different influences, right? So which is so this is called hora. Hora is also known as hour, right? We actually have 24 hours in a day, but if we see a clock, right? If we see a clock, it has 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12, 12 count, which is actually the zodiacs, right? Which is actually the zodiacs: Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Libra, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. These 12 zodiacs represents the 12 hours of our clock. But yes, one zodiac is stay for 2 hours. That means if we multiply 12 into 2, we get 24 hours, right? So this is how things work. Then we have mundane astrology. For example, Corona came, right? So it wasn't for me only, it wasn't for you only, it was for everyone, right? So it was for everyone. So mundane astrology talks about any planet which has influence on masses, right? Which has influence on masses. For example, if I talk of the war between Russia and Ukraine, so planets, there must be some combinations of planets in the sky, and because of that, this thing is happening, right? So which is mundane astrology, right? If I talk of economic downfall, then also it is mundane astrology, because economic downfall now, it has to do with so many countries, not with me or you, right? Then we have Tajik Shastra. Tajik Shastra is generally for yearly predictions, right? For example, if I see someone's horoscope, then if he asks me like how my 2024 is going to go, right? And then it is Tajik Shastra. And let me tell you one thing, very interesting thing. Some combinations in the sky must have occurred today, because of that you have started learning astrology, right? Also, I have started teaching astrology, right? So it is because of the combinations in the sky. Nothing happened without the permission of material nature, right? Okay, then coming to horary. Horary is Prashna Shastra, and a lot of people are actually not knowing about it, right? What is horary? Let me tell you. Basically, it is a part of advanced astrology. Horary is predicting any question that comes in mind. For example, I lost my watch. Would I be getting it, right? And yes, if I be getting it, then what direction? Right? And similar questions, right? If for example, suppose someone who
Yeah, now we can hear you.
okay okay, if someone comes to you and he says that I'm not having my horoscope, I do not have my date of birth, time, and birthplace. Now I want to ask you a question whether I'm going to marry or not, right? So you will make a horary. You will see the current position of the planets in the sky, and they are going to guide you, right, about that question. For example, the former president of India, Srimati Pratibha Patil, she went to an astrologer, when she was elected as a president, right? So she went to astrologer and she asked, like, my party has made me to do so, whether I'm going to become president or not. So the astrologer, what he did, he went inside and he bought some flowers, coconut and other auspicious items, and he 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 gave to her, right? So she asked, why you are giving me? So the astrologer said, because you have asked this question in a very auspicious time, and no one is going to stop you from becoming the president. And actually, she became, right? Let me tell you, give my own example. For example, months back, I I met a Prabhuji, and he's going to join my astrology classes, Hindi batch even. So he told me, Prabhuji, I lost my watch. I told him like, okay, it's you like you lost your watch. It's normal. It's okay. Just buy a new watch and get happy. Because I was thinking the watch would cost just 1,000 or 1,500 or 2,000. But when he told me like I got this watch as a gift from my sister, and it's worth 40,000, and she bought it from London. I told him, Proji, by the help of astrology, I can tell you where the watch is and are you going to get it or not. So he told me, yes, Proji, please. Then I made the Prashna Kundli, which is horary, and I told him, Proji, you have to go to the person. Someone has, you have to approach the person, because he was denying. I'm not going to I'm not going to discover it, I'm not going to search it from my roommates or someone near around my room. But I told him, Proji, the kundli is showing this thing, the horoscope is showing this thing. You have to get to the person. And I even told him the direction, Proji, this is the direction. And that day it was the time of evening, and when I reached back my home, he messaged me around 9:30. He told, or something around 9, and he told me, Prabhuji, thank you, I got my watch, right? So I was very happy. I immediately called him and I asked, like, in which direction and how you got it. So he told me, yes, like you said, I did, but the direction was wrong, right? I told the different direction and he got the watch in different direction. So that was my part, right? So but the main thing was watch, right? So that he got, so I was happy. So this is horary. Most of the people, they are not having the knowledge, because when I told that person, I can tell you even, whether you are going to get your watch or not. He told me, you can see from this horoscope. So he was very, he was very wondering. So people are really unaware of the powers of astrology, right? So we'll discuss so many things in the further classes. So this is the chart, right? The left chart is your your North Indian, your South Indian chart, and the right chart is North Indian chart. And we are going to go, or we are going to understand, or we are going to work upon this North Indian chart only, right? Which is the right one. Then this is the Western astrology chart, right? I even, till the date, I am still moving or lingering around this chart, because it is very typical for me to understand like how does it works. But okay, it's not my part. I'm doing my North Indian, I'm working upon my own chart. Okay, so I have just put these chart in front of you, so that just to give you some knowledge. Okay, so style to be used, which is North Indian style. Okay, so now coming to the main
But
part.
Prabhuji, but Prabhuji,
Oh,
the thing is, the all the apps and all the things which show when you put in the birth place, date, and time, they show the South Indian style mainly. I have always seen that. So how will we reconcile the things when we take help of any app or something?
Rohit, there's an app in Google Play Store which is Kundli, right? Even I use that app, just Kundli, not more than that. Or
Okay.
there's a app Astrosage, right? So I
Yes,
generally,
Astrosage.
yes, I generally use Kundli app, and it is literally very good, right? It like gives you the planet, if it is combust or retrograde, and and the planet in which nakshatra it is sitting, in which pada it is sitting. So Kundli software is literally accurate, and until the date I'm using that software only, right? So I would advise you to go through that software.
Do they show the Kundli in North Indian style? Those apps.
Yes, Ji Prabhuji.
Okay. Because
Okay.
all till date I have seen the rhombus kind of charts, which is
Ji Prabhuji. Ji, even Prabhuji, it is very, even it is very confusing for me as well. Right. So I just go through our own style, which is North Indian chart.
okay.
Right. Ji Prabhuji. Okay.
Right.
So we mainly focuses on three things, which is the 12 houses, the rashis, which are 12 in number, and the planets. We mainly have 9 planets, and if you understand, and if you have a deep knowledge of all those 9 planets, they are sufficient to predict any aspect of your life, right? Okay.
Right.
So facts related to astrology. I've just put some examples here. Pratibha Patil, I just shared, right? Even Narad Muni is an astrologer, right? Because whenever any auspicious thing, which has to happen in Uchchaloka or somewhere, right? Even in, anywhere, even in Pataloka. So Narad Muni always appeared there and he guide the things, right? You know, Parashar Rishi and this plant story, this plant story is very interesting. Let me tell you this plant story. What happened one day, a guru and a disciple, they were moving across a street. So the disciple asked his guru. I'm literally, confused with this story actually. I'm not knowing whether they were friends or guru or disciple, but let us consider like they were guru and disciple. So the disciple asked his guru, "Ki Gurudev, nahin, Guruji, can you tell, pointing at a plant, he said, can you tell whether this plant is going to live for more number of years or this plant is going to have short life?" So Guruji, looking at the plant for like 5 minutes, he answered, yes, this plant has a very long life and it is going to be converted in a tree. So what the disciple did, because the Gurudev, he could see the future, or he might be astrologer, right? So what disciple did, he took that plant out of the ground and he threw it, right? So he told his guru, now let me see whether this plant is going to have a long life or not, because what I did this and it is very certain this plant is not going to have a long life. So after the Guruji said nothing and they both went from that place. So what had happened that night? It rained like cats and dogs, right? It rained like cats and dogs. There was a huge rain. So what the water of that rain did? It took it took the plant, back to its normal position, right? The water in the form of flood came and it took the plant back to the normal position, in the standing position, right? So next day when the disciple and the guru, they were going through that street, the disciple was shocked ki how it happened. So I just gave you the explanation like how did it happen, but the conclusion is that when you are astrologer, right, you have to predict the things like anything, right? You must have that confidence about yourself. Whatever I'm predicting, I am confident about that thing. Or may it happen wrong, but still, I tried my best, right? I had that confidence. I tried my best. And there are always two things, right? Whether you predict, okay, so whether you predict the things right or you get a experience. there's no wrong prediction in astrology, right? For me, right? Even I'm sitting and I'm giving you class, I cannot claim that every word of my mouth has have appeared to be truth. No, I was false, at many places. But what thing has always keep me rejuvenated or very excited is that I learned the things. Whenever I asked the client, for example, yesterday I was seeing the chart and I told, as a individual's chart, and that person's father was sitting there, and I was not knowing who is that individual. So I told his father that this your son must be, fatty. So he said yes, he is fatty. I told yes, he must be a devotee of Hanumanji. Yes, he said yes, he's a devotee of Hanumanji. I said कि Prabhuji, uncle, just take care of your property, because your they could have some sort of fighting related to proper paternal property. So uncle agreed, yes, even I do think this, right? Till the time they are they are three brothers and they are not having any sort of fight for paternal property. But he told me yes, but I it seems to be like that they are going to fight for it in the near future. So I told him. So even I asked a few questions like what I did, what I asked. I said he must be the smallest one amongst the three, or the eldest one. So the uncle told me, no, he's not the smallest, he's not the eldest, he's the middle one. So all those things always make me, you know, curious. Like why did it happen? I predicted something, and how did it came wrong? So I just keep on working on it, right? And I always ask even Krishna as well, whether it doesn't matter whether my predictions are going to get true or false, and it is always in the hand of Krishna, not in my hand, right? But I'm always going to follow astrology as my passion, right? Okay. So moving ahead, we'll discuss other stories in the upcoming classes. Why one should read astrology? This is Gyan Yoga, which is knowledge based. Once you are familiar with the material nature, how it is working, how every individual personality is influenced, right? Some people, they are very extravagant. They spend their money like anything, and some are very miser, right? So, what are those combinations that is making the person extravagant, or to buy a very luxurious vehicle? Or some people, they live very very modest, they live very simple. I'm literally not you know condemning any one of them, right? It is always the planetary position of individual, right? If they have the planetary combinations for a very high class, high class, or royalty, or they are they will be living very lavish, then okay, they can do that. There's nothing wrong, right? Okay, so moving ahead, things one can predict, which is the nature of the person, which is the job, career, and profession, likes and dislikes, hobbies, spouse, partner, house, yoga, vehicle, foreign, share market, relations with siblings, relation with parents, ethics, education, disease, children, higher education, spirituality, etc. Right? Now coming to advanced astrology topics, there are a lot many advanced astrology topics, but I have written some. A relation of wife with mother, or relation of wife with family, relation with in-laws, relation with neighbor, obstacle at workplace, legal issues regarding property, disease like asthma, heart disease, eye-related disease, the stomach-related disease, foreign settlement, education from distant place, which field to choose after 12th, whether to choose science or commerce or art, etc., etc. Interesting topics, right? So astrology. No, what is the time now? It's it's 1 o'clock. So, um, matlab, I'm asking all of you, would you like to go ahead, or it is, you know,
We can
um,
continue for half an hour. I can continue for half an hour.
Bill Proji, would you like to answer?
Yes, we can continue. Like I can continue.
Okay, okay. Bill Proji, Hare Krishna.
Sorry, Prabhu. Hare. Oh, sorry, Hare Krishna. What you said? What are you asking, Prabhu? Sorry.
Can I continue for like 15 to 20 minutes?
Yes,
Right?
please, Prabhu. Yes, please.
Okay, okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Individual planetary positions, right? Astrology individual chart works on three things. Astrology, horoscope of a individual works on three things normally, which is individual planetary positions. We see their ascendant. We'll we'll work upon it, like what is a Lagan chart, what is ascendant, what is moon chart, what is a sun chart. So we go through all these charts, then we go through the dasha. For example, if a native is going through the dasha of sun, Shani, Saturn, Mars, Venus, Jupiter, right? Venus is considered to be planet of you know of a very standard lifestyle planet, right? Of a very, Venus is very lavish, and Shani is very, you know, he is very introvert, right? Shani, and he keep himself distant from general mass. He speaks very less, right? So we are also going to, understand the nature of the planets in the further classes. So, so this is how the dasha influences the person. For example, we see so many individuals in our lives, they used to they really don't used to speak much, but after a time they become very gregarious. They started enjoying the social life. They started making jokes and other things. So dasha influences a person a lot, right? So we have to check the dasha. Even we have to check the sadesati of a person, which comes for 7.5 years, right? Okay, then there comes transit. Transit is um, transit is the position of planets currently. For example, we are sitting here. Planets are still moving, right? Sun is still moving. Mars is still moving, and Moon is still moving, right? Like for example, Moon changes its zodiac in 2.5 day, or you can say quarter, right? uh, Saturn changes its zodiac in 2.5 years, right? Jupiter changes its zodiac in 1 year. So we are sitting and we are eating, moving, playing, learning. We are doing everything, but planets are still moving. They never stop, right? So what influence they have upon us, right? So this we see through transit, right? Transit has a very great role in itself, right? So we also see some videos on YouTube. For example, Mars transit in Virgo. So how it is going to influence all the zodiacs. For Aries, it is going to have some different result. For Taurus, it is going to have some different result, etc., etc. Right? Then three things astrologers should keep in mind, that is time, place, and situation. For example, I just told you about the face, how to read a face of a person, right? So what I told you, like if person is having big eyes, then it means the person is having a very fruitful Venus as well as Moon, right? But if you see the face of Chinese people or the Korean people, their face is very different. Their eyes are always, very, very small, right? So we have to apply those principles as per time, place, and situation. for example, Western countries, people, they usually have a good height, right? But in our country, we could see people of 5 foot, right? We could see people of 4.5. We could see the people of 6 foot, right? So actually, what has happened? India was considered to be a spiritual place, and all our scriptures, all our sages, even the spirituality, which spirituality actually has its origin from India only, right? So our sages have worked upon the charts or the astrology according to our society only, right? And those things, personality things may not apply to different countries people, but yes, the profession, the disease, the paternal property or the house, vehicle, all those things, they remain same, right? Okay. So there are different house of a birth chart. We
Yeah,
have 12.
so Prabhuji, my question was actually related to this only, that
Okay.
whatever astrology applies to us, does it apply to Western countries also in the similar way? But now you have given the
Hmm.
answer that our sages have basically designed the charts and the entire study from Indian
जी
context.
जी प्रभु जी जी जी
Okay.
right? But Prabhuji, profession or disease or fate or fame, name, respect, or the interest in dancing, music, singing, etc. remains the same, right? Etc.
Okay.
things remains the same, but the height, weight, or the body body color or all those things differs, right? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, but it also depends on the society. For example, we said advanced
Mm.
astrology can tell you the uh, relationship with neighbors. In India,
Yes.
we are a very connected society, so we value relationship with neighbors. But in Western
जी
countries, they don't value their relationship with the neighbors so much.
जी जी प्रभु जी even if I see a chart of western person, and so so I there is very high probability of seeing the things like separation, separation
Correct.
from a spouse, separation from children,
Yeah.
but not in Indian context, right? I cannot apply with the same frequency all
Yes.
those combinations in our own country, right? So this is what astrologers should keep in mind, the time, place, and situation, right? Also, when you are giving a remedy, right? Even I see this thing, I generally ask people, for example, for making Jupiter, for removing the bad influence of Jupiter in horoscope, one should feed a chapati or roti to cow, right? Only if the chart of a person supports that thing. Okay, so that remedy I can give to Indian people because we do have cows on the street, but foreign people, they do not have cows on the street, right? They have a strict niyam. They do have a strict regulatory principles regarding that thing. You cannot leave the cows or buffaloes on the street, right? So even the remedy differs, right? Whenever you are giving any remedy, you must see what is the situation of the person, right? Okay,
Yeah.
now moving back. So we do have 12 houses, first house, second, and then carries to 12th house. Okay. So this is first house of horoscope. Roji, what I think is we should continue this from our next class, you know,
Okay.
because are you, Roji, you are making notes?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
am taking notes, but I am mostly yeah, able to write down what is shown on the slide. I am
Okay.
also writing what you are speaking. I am taking notes.
Okay. 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 Okay, Broji. Great, Broji. Navita Mataji, It's
Yes,
okay.
I am also taking notes. I am also writing down like, whatever points you are telling and whatever I am seeing on the screen. I'm trying to write it. Yeah.
Okay.
Guruji, I have one question. First of all, should I call you Guruji or something else?
Mataji, this even strike in my mind. You should call by, you can call me Karthik as well. I'm like son to you.
Then you have to call us by our name also.
Arey, no, Mataji. This is our
I-
culture, right?
I
Ji.
think we will call you Kartike Prabhu. That would be
Yeah,
good.
that would be good. Yeah. Mohit, yeah, that is good. So I just wanted to ask you one question that this astrology, it all depends upon the date and time of the birth, or is it also related to the name? Because in Hindi, whenever we see the Rashi Fals that comes in newspaper, it is related to the, they say that Kanya is related to Na, Ne, Ni, or like all these type of things. So I get confused. Is it? I want to get this solved. That it is only related to the date and time, or it is related to the name, the letter of the name as well.
Ji, Mataji, it is related to the name of a person as well, right? It has a very, so it has so much to do with the name of a person, right? And also, if I see from if I have a different aspect, regarding the name of a person. For example, if you call someone, if you call someone by the name, like that person is male, and you
Yeah,
call him, you call that person by the name of Arjun,
yeah,
Surya, right?
yeah.
Then he'll have a different impact on, his personality. And if you call that person with the, with Sheetal, Chintu, Mintu, Pintu, then he'll have a different kind of, taste in his personality.
No, that is true. Yeah, no, that is why, earlier people used to keep their names on gods like Ram, Sita.
Ji,
That
ji.
is true. Like,
हाँ,
I just want to clarify, see, like my date of birth is 31st of August. So according
okay.
to 31st of August, it is Virgo. So my name is
Hmm,
Navrita. So
okay.
Rashi, like Hindi and English, it changes in some cases.
Hmm,
It changes. It is not the same. It may not be like Virgo in Hindi is
hmm,
Kanya, so it may be it may not be the same. So that is why I want to ask, like, which zodiac works on a person. Like, that is
hmm,
not clear to me.
okay, okay, okay. Mataji, uh, whatever zodiac you are having, you
Yeah.
know, it has an influence on your lives, and that zodiac has a great connection with your name, right? So yes, whatever videos you watch on YouTube regarding that thing,
I
they
don't
are
watch any videos.
uh,
I am like
mm,
zero. I have no knowledge. It's just the, like, sometimes you see, you read the newspaper and you have that
uh,
one
mm,
column over there. So when
mm,
you take the Hindi newspaper, so you have it's
mm,
according to the name, and if you take a English newspaper, it's according to your date. So that is
mm.
why I wanted to ask you this question. I have not seen. I am a zero in this like aspect of astrology. I am not aware of anything.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
No worries, Mataji, no worries.
Yeah.
During this course, you will be able to get sufficient knowledge, what is required. But I do not ask anyone to join my class just to become a professional astrologer. No,
Yeah.
it's a very good thing to understand the material
Yeah,
nature.
just wanted to get the knowledge of it actually, just
Ji,
to,
ji,
uh,
ji,
yeah.
ji.
So,
Right. So,
may,
yes, yes,
yeah,
Mataji, the course.
maybe
Hmm.
you can clear my question sometime else, but I have this question. So you please clarify that.
Okay, Mataji, yes. whatever Rashi or Nakshatra you are born in, it has some words like Kha, Ki, Ke, right? And from that word, from that particular alphabet, your
Hmm.
name gets started. So
Okay.
planets do have influence on the nakshatra, on
Okay.
the on the sign of a individual, which is Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn, Aquarius, etc., etc. So
Okay.
yes, it
So
has. Hmm,
you mean to say that then the Rashi would be same if that like जो जन्म का नाम आपकी कुंडली में होगा, that it then it would be the same, like the
hmm.
like it is not that sometimes you have that ख letter, so किसी ने नहीं रखा ख पे, somebody has kept the name with some other alphabet, so it doesn't work on that. You mean to say that?
Mataji, yes, nahi. It is not like that. Whenever a person is born, he is born under certain nakshatras, certain constellations, certain planetary positions, right? So
Okay.
whether the family believes in astrology or not, they have kept their their child name as per astrology or not, still material nature is going to influence that person,
Fine.
right?
Yes.
Still, right? So material nature is always watching, or it is always influencing the behavior of a person.
Yes.
It doesn't make any difference whether you believe or you don't believe, right?
Okay.
Ji
Okay.
Mataji.
जी, धन्यवाद. Thank you.
And Mataji, also gradually you'll understand your questions automatically, right? As
Okay.
you'll come in the further classes, you'll understand by yourself, right?
Yeah.
So
Thank you.
Bill Proji, you are having any question?
Yes, Prabhu. You mentioned about the relation between astrology and Vastu and Ayurveda. My question is, what is the relation between astrology and weather prediction, particularly in agriculture?
Okay, particularly in agriculture.
Yeah, if there is any, relation.
Okay, okay, yes. Proji, see, uh, mm, okay. If I talk of agriculture, for example, you are going to do any profession related to agriculture, then yes, you can go to astrologer and you can ask whether I am going to get the what to say, I'm going to get the reap, I'm going to माताजी उसको फसल को क्या बोलेंगे?
Harvest.
हाँ हाँ, whether I'm going to have the harvest of my crop, whether I'm going to get my crop, whether the soil where I am planting certain thing, whether it is going to reap or not, you can ask the astrologer as well. So astrologer can predict that thing as well. Yes, you are going to get the return, or whether the flood will come, or whether it is going to be very very sunny, and because of that the crop is going to get burned, or the astrologer could predict this thing as well. It is going to be very heavy rain, or storm or something like that, so your crop is going to get distracted. So agriculture, and also while buying a property, you know you could ask a astrologer, you know where should what my horoscope is telling, like where my house should be. For example, there was a guy who came to me years back. I told him, you are going to have your house near a river, and today actually that person is living somewhere, and I had a word with him a few days back, and he told me, yes, where I'm living right now there is a river bank, right? So astrology has, and vastu, even vastu has so much to do with astrology. For example, what to say? Uh, for example, if any planet which is sitting in the property house of an individual, right? So if that planet is auspicious or inauspicious, you could advise the person, right? Like initially I told you, if if moon is sitting there, right, in the property house, then the person should have a tap of water outside his house, right? Or you can keep a bowl of water so that the animals could take water from it, right? So your moon is going to give or give you positive results, or if it is sitting there and giving negative results, so that negative results are going to get abolished, or they are going to get um, less. So do you got my point, Bill Proji?
Yes, Prabhuji, I got your point here. So in fact, it's possible. It's possible through astrology predict how one's crop will do in that particular year. It's possible also to predict the weather condition, more on what is still to come. Yeah. Is it what about in terms of Vastu? See a situation, for example, I remember a situation in my own family, and a property of my grandfather, that property, he just got that property, I don't know how, and he built a house on his own way, but that place was not actually was never really a place that brought happiness, progress. It was always a place, it seems to me, that always problematic, in many ways. And I was just wondering, curiosity, to get the scope of astrology. So it's a kind of apparently there would be a bad place, something was going on there, and then through astrology, if he had knowledge about astrology, he could have used astrology as a tool in terms of Vastu, at least, to make that place better, to make that place really a good place. Is it? My question is: there such a thing like a bad and a good place, a bad choice and a good choice? And if you do a bad choice in the place, that in a property, in a house, can you still fix that bad choice uh, through astrology, doing some adjustments through Vastu? That's my question.
I understand your question, Pioji. And yes, you can see, the favorable or unfavorable directions of your property, of your land, of your house, right? And even you can predict the bedroom of a person, right? For example, if someone is struggling, and he's saying that that person is saying that I do not get the peace of sleep, in my bedroom, right? So you could see their horoscope, and you could accordingly ask that person to keep a bottle of water beside them while they sleep, because they are having influence of moon. When they are having the influence of Venus, they can keep certain flowers with them, or they can sprinkle perfume around their bed, right? Or around their bed. So similarly, there are so many things which influence. You can see the bed, the sleeping bedroom of a person through the astrology, right? So there are a lot many things, and we are going to understand all those things. And Proji, I believe that we are going to get so many answers. I know it's our first class. We are having so many queries and doubts and all, but gradually we'll come to this discussion. We are going to get our doubts clarified, right? I believe that, right? So just have some patience, right? Um, just when you'll go, when you'll pass 1 month, 2 month, or 3 month, or 4 month, you'll understand, okay, this is how things are working, right? So just we have to keep some patience. Okay.
Sure, bro. Thank you. Thank you it's a very interesting topic. I don't have so much experience with so much knowledge. I don't have enough knowledge about it, but it's a very interesting, thing. So
Actually,
the idea is to learn. The idea is to learn.
Actually, Bilproji, I wanted you to have in my lecture, because you were very consistent and you were answering to my questions since one day. So because there wasn't a need for any English batch, but I decided to bring you in my batch, right? Um, to make you learn astrology, and because of you only, we have started this English language course. So you're welcome, and I'm happy to see you here, and we'll have a long journey, hopefully.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you. Looking forward. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Mataji and Bilproji and Proji, thank you.
Thank
We'll
you.
meet. Thank you. Mohit Proji, thank you. We'll
Thank
meet
Yeah, we will meet
Okay.
tomorrow, same time.
tomorrow, same
Yeah.
time.
Okay. Okay.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you so much.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare